What's up, YouTubers? It's Ernie, Blerd Without Fear. Welcome back to the channel. So with the Fox and Disney deal put to bed, the $71.3 billion that was spent, or was it 73.1? I don't remember. Either way, a lot of money was spent to get back characters that Marvel created. You know, because bankruptcy was a thing back in the late 90s. But now that this has come to light, people have been focusing on the low-hanging fruit of the Marvel Universe when it comes to things that could be brought into the MCU now that that deal is finished. People have been focusing on the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Magneto, Doctor Doom. Well, you know what? Let's not talk about any of that, because I'm here to talk about the 15 less obvious things coming to the MCU now that the Fox-Disney deal is done. But before we get started, if this is your first time checking out my channel and you want to see more awesome videos like this one, it only takes 2 clicks to become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers. Click, click. Number 15. The PHALANX. This is going to be similar to a couple of other entries that pop up on this list, considering that it encompasses an entire alien race, for the most part. But the PHALANX tick off more than a few boxes. High sci-fi, tick. X-Men villains, tick. Weird looking, tick. You can even go with one of the earlier incarnations of the PHALANX, where an anti-mutant hate group comes across the PHALANX virus and wants to use it to turn themselves into Sentinels. This could open up the MCU to a type of enemy we don't usually see in the superhero genre. And they're also a personal favorite deep cut of mine. Number 14, legit Sentinels. We've already seen the Sentinels in the Fox side of things with the X-Men films. We saw them in X-Men The Last Stand, in a Danger Room sequence, and we also saw them in X-Men Days of Future Past, which were not horrible, but not as good as I had hoped. Now is the time to see the real deal mutant killing machines on the big screen, and done proper justice. I want to see proper Sentinels on the screen, that's all I'm saying. They should be awe-inspiring, threatening, and immediately raise the stakes of any film should they arrive. I say let's think of them in the same way if you go back and look at the old pilot episode of the 1990s Saban X-Men cartoon. When Sentinels arrive, someone's gonna die. Number 13, Gladiator, and the rest of the SHIHAR Empire. One of Marvel's earliest analogs for Superman, an alien with incredible power limited only by his belief in himself. Not only could Gladiator make for an interesting rival or enemy for any character or superhero team in the MCU, but he'd also have the might of the SHIHAR Empire behind him. One of the most powerful cornerstones of the Marvel Cosmic Universe. You know, one of the original MCUs. Not only that, but he has history with Thanos, who's already established. And when people think about, oh, you know, Thanos couldn't beat this person, or Thanos could beat that person, one of the people that sometimes gets forgotten in those conversations is Gladiator, who they have gone toe-to-toe, and they both traded L's and W's. Number 12, the Phoenix. This one is kind of a softball, but I don't think that, you know, Marvel is gonna pull the trigger on the Phoenix anytime soon. Considering the fact that there is the X-Men Dark Phoenix movie, which as of late has gone from being rumored to being canceled because of the Disney-Fox merger, but then turned around and was then rumored to be scheduled for reshoots in light of the Disney-Fox merger. The Phoenix is a force of nature and could easily be one of the most powerful things in the MCU, even making a case for being probably one of the next tentpole villains, one of the big overarching threats, the way Thanos was teased in the first Avengers movie. Just don't take so many years to get to her. This could be one of the things that bridges the gap between the Avengers and the X-Men, and could even lead to an Avengers versus X-Men style confrontation, which would be absolutely freaking insane to see on the big screen. Number 11, the Savage Land. Who doesn't love dinosaurs? Hey, I wasn't talking to you. With the success of films like Godzilla in 2014, King Kong Skull Island, and well, of course, the Jurassic World franchise, it's only a matter of time before Disney decides to sneak some dinosaurs into the MCU. An island known for its prehistoric creatures, and even an X-Men villain by the name of Sauron. No, not that Sauron, other Sauron. Yeah, that one. And is also known to be a hideout for X-Men villains from time to time. Looking at you, Mr. Sinister. Number 10, the Brood. The xenomorphs of the Marvel Universe by way of the X-Men. It would be an easy sell for any would-be MCU writer-director wanting to bring horror elements to their film. The stuff of nightmares, the Brood easily raises the stakes of any film that they appear in, instantaneously transforming it into a horror movie with just their mere presence alone, and could easily give us something that's probably the closest thing we would ever see to an amazing successor to James Cameron's Aliens. Probably the only good Alien sequel we could possibly ever get. Number 9, legit Quicksilver. I know. We've already gotten Quicksilver in the MCU. I get it, I totally get it, but that was not really Quicksilver as he should have been. The Quicksilver of the MCU was watered down and put out to pasture very early on, mostly due to the fact that Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch existed in this weird gray area of legality for, like comic book character rights. So both Fox and Marvel could use these characters, but they kind of had a gentleman's agreement behind closed doors that on the X-Men side of things for Fox, they would focus on Quicksilver while Marvel focused on Scarlet Witch, and neither the two would cross. Now that Marvel has the rights to Quicksilver back, we may just see Quicksilver make a triumphant return. And if that's the case, I'll wait. Number 8, Molecule Man. Owen Reese, the Molecule Man. Low-key one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Comics universe. And oddly enough, has never had his shot at the big time. Whether a man drunk on his newfound power to shape the fabric of reality as he sees fit, or a man just simply driven mad by it, Molecule Man has powers that Thanos has only toyed with. So just imagine having this character in the MCU. This could easily open up a doorway for, Marvel to decide they want to adapt either version of Secret Wars, which I honestly think would not be that far out of the realm of possibility, considering the fact that the Russos have long since said that Secret Wars is a story arc they want to adapt to film. Number 7, Super Skrull. We already know the Skrulls are going to be featured in Captain Marvel next year. That's not news. And Marvel has kind of teased that Secret Invasion is a type of story arc they're looking into maybe possibly doing. So this is a no-brainer. Bring in Kl'rt, who is one of the Fantastic Four's most deadly enemies and is also one of the most powerful Skrulls in existence. Yeah, sure, there are other Super Skrulls out there, and there's even a Skrull Queen, Veronica, but I don't care about any of that. All I want to see is Kl'rt as Super Skrull, or really any Super Skrull, come down with all of the powers of the Fantastic Four. Beat the brakes off of said Fantastic Four. Go back home to Skrull World or wherever the hell he lives. Eat a bowl of green Cheerios. And forget he just whipped the Fantastic Four's candy asses. Number 6, Genosha. A place already silently featured in the first X-Men film and X-Men The Last Stand that can only be described as mutant Auschwitz? An island of concentration camps meant to contain and imprison mutants for the safety of humanity. And not just the bad ones either, but any mutant. A touchy subject, sure, but it would also be a really relevant one today considering, everything going on. Not gonna pretend that's not happening. But we could even see the more revamped version of Genosha, where Magneto has turned it into his headquarters, and I want to say as recently as House of M was using it as a base of operations and a sanctuary for like-minded mutants. Number 5, ANNIHILUS and the Negative Zone. Annihilation is probably one of the best crossover events that Marvel has ever produced. And with that, you get a character who comes from a place deeply rooted in both the Fantastic Four, Captain Marvel, and even some other comic events' origins. This could bring over even bigger crossover film potential than Avengers Infinity War. When you consider the fact that Thanos, should he not be killed during Avengers 4, could wind up having to team up with the Avengers to stop the Annihilation wave. We could also even see the Kree come in, who are going to be introduced in Captain Marvel, as well as other alien races I've already mentioned in this video. The guy is just dangerous, and not only that, he would be something different, and I could only imagine the kind of craziness they would come up with to portray him on the big screen. Number 4, the Mole Man. He's always beneath you, but nothing is beneath the Wrong villain. But seriously, can we get the Mole Man into like an MCU film? I would be totally down for that. A character who has been on both sides of the table as far as being a villain and, not villain with rich ties to the Fantastic Four, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Infinity Watch. Or we could just stick with having Underminer be the only Mole Man style villain in the Disney, you know, House of Mouse. But come on. Come on. Come on! Number 3, Galactus. If the MCU needs a new threat to fill the vacuum that Thanos is going to leave behind after Avengers 4, I could think of no bigger villain than Galactus, both figuratively and literally. Not only that, but we know Marvel has already tried to get Galactus in the MCU. They tried not too terribly long ago to negotiate a deal with Fox that would get Galactus into the Marvel Universe films, in much the same way that they struck a deal with Fox to get Ego the Living Planet in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The only difference was the Galactus talks fell through. So the desire is already there, and Galactus the World Eater would be pretty much a threat unlike anything the Avengers or anyone in the MCU has ever faced. And with Marvel Phase 4 being more cosmic oriented as originally advertised, who better than Galactus? No giant clouds, please. Number 2, the Silver Surfer. Nornrad, the man with the silver surfboard, Herald of Galactus. He's kind of a no-brainer if you're considering bringing Galactus into the MCU in the first place. He's literally the first thing you see before Galactus even arrives, because the Silver Surfer must prepare the world for the coming of Galactus. And this is yet another character with deep ties to the Fantastic Four, as well as the already established Thanos. He's incredibly powerful, desperately demanded by fans, and Stan Lee has even gone on record as calling him his favorite superhero and saying that we will see him in movies soon. And I am hard-pressed to call Stan Lee a liar. Easily one of the bright spots in Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer. I think it's time he finally gets the big screen treatment that he so rightfully deserves. But whatever you do, Marvel, please do not cuck him like you do in the comics. Number 1, Kang the Conqueror. He technically exists as an Avengers villain, but it's been long thought that his intellectual property rights lie under the Fantastic Four's umbrella. A power-mad time-traveling tyrant who has given all 4 corners of the Marvel Comics universe a run for its money. That is a pretty good place to start once we wrap up Avengers Infinity War and Thanos' story arc has presumably come to an end. The Conqueror himself has just recently made a return to comics in Marvel's Infinity Countdown story arc, which is still carrying on into Infinity Wars. And he has been one of the most demanded villains by fans of the MCU. Hell, since it started. Time travel being a popular theme among fans of the MCU in light of recent events in Avengers Infinity War, it would make sense that Kang the Conqueror came along and got his hands dirty, considering that time travel is how he's often tried to conquer the entire timeline. But anyways, that is my list. 15 less obvious things that are coming to the MCU now that the Fox Disney deal has closed. Let me know what deep cuts you'd like to see enter into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Sound off in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, Hulk smash that like button. If you want to see more awesome videos like this one, make sure you click subscribe so you can become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers and tap that bell so you know when I post up. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you all next time. Plus Ultra!